Free audio post-production by Alphonic.com.
You're listening to The Real Short Box, a comic book podcast made for geeks by geeks.
Want to know? Okay, enough about you. All right, now let's get to the brass tacks. We are here to discuss basically the summer of Superman is what I want to call it.
1 week after 4th of July, it's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Now, I did not watch, I want to be transparent here, I did not watch the most recent trailer because I don't want to spoil shit. I don't want to spoil shit for myself. I feel like I've seen enough, and you know me, I'm like a huge Superman fan. I'm going to go no matter what.
Right.
Like, if they were like, Superman shits his pants in this one, I'd be like, okay.
You still watch it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like with me being a big Star Wars fan. If Master Yoda was just going to be reading the phone book, I would still go and watch it.
Yeah. Chinese it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe just ordering takeout. It's Yoda struggling, ordering takeout, trying to orange chicken I want.
Tip you, I will.
Yeah. Not too much, no. You guys, it's terrible Yoda impersonation. I apologize in advance here. And not in advance, I just apologize in general. I'm so sorry.
But from what I saw from the latest trailer, again, I don't think they spoiled too much. It's just in your mind, you imagine these things are going to happen anyway if you ever watch it, right? But what I think is important is it just has to work.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it works. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie. I know one of the biggest complaints you had amongst other people with Henry Cavill's portrayal, and again, not him personally, but just the way it was written. Like Man of Steel was a little too dark, and Superman's supposed to be more of an optimistic, a little colorful, but not too colorful, but just an optimistic, fun superhero.
Yeah.
Batman, we expect that. Expect him to be dark. The Punisher, you expect to be dark. Daredevil, a little bit dark, but Superman's kind of like Spider-Man way. You expect there to be a little light there. Optimism.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get that this time around. We're getting back to those roots.
Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, if we survive. Yeah, that'll be great. Because I feel like, honestly, you're going to start to get more Superman fans. And I feel, and this is interesting because somebody was talking about this. When a nation or a people feel like they're struggling, they look towards hope. They look towards something like a symbol or someone to help them. Fictional or not, that's Superman. Superman is a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of peace. He's a symbol of truth, justice. And, whether you like it or not, the American way.
That's right. And you know what? The timing is perfect, in my opinion, with everything going on in the world. And again, we're going to be apolitical here, but just with all the different things going on in the world, I think this movie's timing is just right. You need that hope, that optimism, that feel good, an opportunity for things to get better.
Crypto. We need crypto.
Oh, yes, great. Crypto. I want to see that. I never thought in my lifetime I would see the Crypto Dog in a live action movie.
Yeah, right?
It's so cool.
Isn't that freaking cool? I love it too. Super excited for it. And in fact, I think that's going to be the gateway for a lot of kids and a lot of women.
Absolutely.
That aren't so much into Superman. You'll get some of the women that like Lois, they want a headstrong, like positive female character. Sure. But I think a lot of women also like cute dogs.
Of course.
I mean, you do too. I do too. We all like cute dogs.
Hey, Crypto's adorable.
Yes, very much adorable. So I'm excited.
They'll put a smile on your
for
face.
That. And Dom pointed out something. He was like, James Gunn loves middle fingers.
Yes, true.
And I was like, oh, that's true. Because in Guardians of the Galaxy, in the first one, he was doing the reel with the, the fishing rod and gave the finger. That would be, Jesus.
Star-Lord?
Yeah. I was going to say Sky-Lord.
Sky-Lord.
My Lord. Star-Lord, yeah. And now it's Guy Gardner, created a giant green middle. I love that. I think Nathan Fillion's going to knock it out of the park. I think Guy Gardner's going to be one of the sneaky runaway hits.
I think so.
Yeah, because he gives James a lot of opportunity for humor. And the fact that they're besties, they're like really close friends.
He wrote something good for him.
Yeah, he wrote something good for him. And also that he knows that Nathan could deliver. And Nathan knows to trust him enough that be like, yeah, let's roll with it. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it. Let's experiment. Let's try that. Let's try this.
And I'm sure they took multiple takes from different angles, different dialogue. So I'm sure when they're in editing, they're like, okay, this works best.
Mhm.
This goes best. So I can trust James Gunn and his editing team with this movie.
Yeah.
The question is, will the old general audience trust the movie? Thankfully, the movie's not too long. It's 2 hours and 9 minutes. That's what I saw because, tickets went on sale. So 2 hours and 9 minutes is the runtime. So that's not...
From what I heard, the tickets went on sale for the pre-ticket thing. I don't know if the tickets... all of tickets went on sale now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know like the Amazon offered
a special...
free to... Yeah, and that it crashed some site.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what site it was, but it crashed it. I thought that was cool. I also thought it was cool that Milkbone partnered with DC for crypto.
Smart.
And gave, if you pre-purchased or purchased it, they would give you got a box of Milkbone dog biscuits, and you got the comic book with Crypto and Superman.
That's pretty smart.
That's like $100 comic book right now. It's insane. Like it's one of the most current expensive Superman comic books in that it's come out in forever. Like, to be realistic. Even the Death of Superman, you can still find black polybagged for $25-$30 anywhere.
Yep.
And that was like the big event for Superman, like since his inception, basically.
Yep, 33 years ago.
Yeah, and it's still only $25 to $30. You can pick that up.
Because there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this one, it was super limited. You can, though, get the Milkbone boxes. I saw them at Walmart. So if you don't get the comic book, you can get the Milkbone Superman Crypto box, which is still cool. I don't need it. I know somewhere out there, some dumbass or, somebody that's just a hardcore collector is going to buy those boxes of dog biscuits, and they're going to just sit on them and be like, I'm going to make a fortune someday. I'm going to sell these Milkbones.
There you go.
I don't think it's going to happen, but sure, live in hope.
Live in hope.
That's what Superman's for.
The other exciting thing I'm sure that you're excited about, and everyone is, I'm sure Jared is too, is the other characters like Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Terrific. They got the Terrific Mobile kind of thing going. I just saw McFarlane Toys released an image of that, and that looks super dope. And I think they showed it in the trailer too. They showed him in the vehicle at one point. So that looks really cool.
Metamorpho,
man, come on. First of all, spot on casting. And second of all, he just looks cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I found out that Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho was going to be in it, and then they were adding Great Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl and stuff, I was like, man, I wonder if they're going to do the Terrifics. I wonder if they're doing the Terrific.
Maybe they'll set it up.
Yeah, I think they might be setting up DC's answer to the Fantastic Four, which is what the Terrifics were, technically.
Yeah.
I mean, and most exciting part about that, later on in the issues of the Terrifics, Ted Kord joined the team.
Well, from my understanding, I heard James Gunn is a fan of Ted Kord.
Yes.
So I'm sure at some point he'll be introduced.
Well, I don't know if everybody that listens knows this, but James Gunn did tweet a photo of me.
By accident?
By accident, of course, but still.
It worked.
Tweeted a photo of me as Ted Kord because of my web series, The Blue Beetle Ted Kord Returns. It's on YouTube under Rumblespoon Productions. Or you can go to rumblespoon.com and every episode is available there as well. But that was super cool. I woke up to a flurry of people like, oh my God, James Gunn tweeted you. James Gunn tweeted a picture of you. James Gunn tweeted, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And there it was.
Well,
the funny thing is there is a connection because he used to go to a comic book shop
same comic shop.
Same comic shop, Comic Smash.
Yeah, Comic Smash in Studio City. Rest in peace, Comic Smash.
It's been 9 years.
Since they closed?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
I remember it was 2016.
Yeah, I remember when James tweeted about it too. He was like, I went to my local comic shop and they were closed up. And I'm so sad to see that. And, I always thought about that. Like the owner, Michael, I don't know if he ever tried to reach out to James or something, but I would have.
He should have.
Yeah, I would have reached out to him and been like, hey man, like, I know you're a customer here and I'm a struggling business and I was wondering if, maybe we could partner up and do something or, I know how you filmed something here before. Maybe you'd want to film something here again. It could help me, survive just a little while longer.
Can you imagine if he would have shot like a minor scene for, let's say, if the shop still existed, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, for example?
Dude, that would have been sick.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, or
especially,
two.
especially when he came back to Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Because part 2, I don't remember him coming back to Earth. But in Volume 3, when he came back to Earth towards the end.
I think there was with 2. It was like where they were trying to create the spores.
Oh, yes,
to
yes.
colonize the Earth to
That's
kind of
right.
make it more adaptable for Ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was a little bit in that, but 3 definitely
Would have made more sense, right? You know, he's just meeting, the folks, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
he just happened to have a shop, a business, and like, oh,
Yeah. We were just talking about this though, but like your like big thing is that like if this movie doesn't do well,
it's going to be really sad because once again, DC is trying to get over this curse. Now, during the Snyderverse movies, there were a couple exceptions. The first Aquaman movie did great. Wonder Woman did great. The first Shazam did okay.
mm-hmm.
Man of Steel did okay, but it just wasn't like the big hit that everyone was expecting.
Right.
And then Batman vs. Superman, was so-so. And obviously the Justice League movie, as we know, for different reasons, just did not work out. It was a disaster. Although, the Snyder Cut, I thought was good. I liked it.
Solid.
I liked
Not
it.
amazing, but solid. He definitely added a little more humor in there, which I
Right.
think was important. That was needed. What
Right.
the fuck?
Yeah,
Why
you
would
can't be too dark, too gloomy. And
Yes.
in other words, you're trying to Batmanize everything, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I blame Christopher Nolan for that.
Well,
Like he just, I want everything dark and within, grounded in reality. And reality is depressing sometimes.
Right, but the Dark Knight, Batman in general, is a gloomier, darker character. So I get it, but the problem is you don't apply that to everything.
Right.
Like Spider-Man. Can you imagine if Spider-Man was just super, super dark? If it was like the Punisher or Daredevil, if it had that type of aura to it. Like, man, this isn't Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben is dead and I must seek vengeance.
Yeah, something like that. He's like, he's having these monologues in his head where he's, and he's squirting when he's when he's spraying his
That's a different movie, sir.
when he's webbing around the place.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Mary Jane.
I think they did an Avengers porn, and I think China was She-Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, if I recall.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to work sort of for a porn company.
I see.
So it's an interesting story. I worked for a Chinese herb company in the Valley, in, LA adjacent in the Valley there. And the Chinese herb company, we were almost downtown at the time, and we got purchased by a guy that owned a porn business, which sold porn, distributed it. And he purchased us because he was having, some form of a midlife crisis or something. I don't know. He purchased us, and we got moved to the Valley. And we moved to the Valley, and that's when, like, low key, like, we were adjacent to that world. So it was quite fascinating, being part of something like that, I guess. It's just weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It's like Mary Jane. She broke up with me. I must have my vengeance.
Yeah. But like with the porn, like when I worked there, on the coffee tables and stuff, they would have magazines of the upcoming pornos that were being released. And they had one of them that was Avengers. They had, I think, a Daredevil one. They had a Spider-Man one. I'm pretty sure there was a Spider-Man one. And so and it would be called like Avengers XXX or something like that.
Of course.
Right? Instead, there was no cleverness to it, which I hated that about it. Like, I'm sure inside the film itself, it could have been clever in parts, but like the titles were severely lacking.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always thought that was funny because I would walk past it and I would be like, oh my God, they made that? They made an Avengers porno? And I'm pretty sure it was China with She-Hulk. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course, Hawkeye was in there. I never miss.
Of course. Of course. Is there like a Marvel's version of Elseworld? I'm trying to think what that would be.
Yeah, the What If.
The What If.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did a What If with Spider-Man where he's just Punisher-like, where like he's strangling people with his webbing, breaking their necks with it.
Yeah.
He's got super dark, where Spider-Man's just
I wonder if they did one
killing
called
people.
Dark Spider.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Dark Spider-Man where he's just pissed
I know
off.
they did Dark Web, Spider-Man Dark Web.
Mhm.
I know they did that, but like I don't know if they did a Dark Spider.
Yeah, that'd be something. You see a pissed off, Peter, or he's just killing people. He just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
That'd be a way to do it. You know a way to trigger that? Aunt May. Someone murders Aunt May.
They've killed her before.
But I mean, like a brutally murder Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Where he just set him off. He's like, I don't care anymore. I'm just killing people.
Like they filmed having their way with her and then killed her afterwards or some shit.
And they said it like on the internet or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Dark. He just sees that and he's just so angry. He's like, I don't care anymore.
When Peter snaps.
Yep, he snaps. And everybody, he's like, he sees Frank Castle, like, Frank, you were right.
I think it was also a line in the porn when Peter snaps. You know, it's like, I think that was.
Peter snaps.
Yeah, Peter snaps is Spider-Man.
I believe the movie will probably open to at least $120 million opening weekend. I think it'll be at least that, something like that.
No, I don't even know if that's good anymore. Is it good?
No, it'll be good. I'll say
worldwide, they need at least, 300 million?
What?
With domestic.
To opening.
Yeah.
Oh, opening. Yeah. I think that would have to be something like that. At least a $300 million opening weekend worldwide. I can see that.
Somewhere around $300-400 million.
And I think it's very important that it has legs.
Yeah, it needs that rewatchability.
Because 2 weeks later, guess what comes out? Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Which I've not heard good things about.
Yeah, I've heard not good things about it either.
Initial feedback has been lukewarm.
And that's sad too. It's like, man, I was hoping the fourth time would be the charm. But you have Galactus in it. You'd think that would help. Like the real Galactus.
Right.
You know.
It is the fifth, technically, but that first one never got released, really. It escaped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was when it was who did that one? It was Corman,
Roger
right?
Corman.
Roger Corman one produced Fantastic Four.
And then you had the second version from Tim Story, which actually did pretty good. That's why they had a second one, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. Of course, we know how that went.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Josh Trank one that,
Trank Tank.
Yeah, Trank Tank.
It tanked hard.
So you're hoping that this fourth iteration of the Fantastic Four works. Well, I do hear if it doesn't work, they'll just simply make them part of the next whatever Avengers movie or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like what they're doing with She-Hulk. People
just attach them to.
Seemed a bit sour on that series, and they're throwing her into some Avenger stuff.
Right. Which is also strange, too, because, a good friend of ours, Reza, made an excellent point. Like, people who were complaining about the show, that's what, the comic book, that's what she is, that.
She broke the fourth wall.
She broke the fourth wall, but some people didn't understand that. They're like, oh, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense.
She's doing what Deadpool did. No, she did it first.
Right.
And Deadpool just copied her.
Oh, the best criticism is, why do they have a woke, female Hulk? It doesn't make sense. Why did they cut, my God, it's been around since 1980.
Yeah.
They really thought it was just something they just literally just created out of the blue.
People are stupid. People are gonna people.
Well, it's like Deathstroke. Oh my God, what's wrong with DC? Why are they copying Deadpool for?
Mm-hmm.
If you only knew.
Right. Those that know. Yeah. Slade Wilson. Wade Wilson. Come on.
And think about it. Deathstroke. Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just like the Ninja Turtles, with Stick and Splinter.
Right.
The foot and the hand. It's like, come on, guys.
They don't get
Put 2 and 2 together.
They don't get it.
Yeah. But what do you guys think out there in podcast land? Do you think Superman's got legs? Do you think it's going to make it? Do you think it's going to revitalize the DC universe? Do you think Gunn's going to revitalize? I feel like he's done a good job.
Yeah. I hope it does, because if it works, then it makes it easier for all the other, DC products, DC, I can say DC products, that's not right. The DC characters to get a chance that never got a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he just announced that there's a new Mr. Miracle series, cartoon, I think a cartoon animated series or something that's going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman is in the works.
Yep.
There's a sequel to Superman, sort of, which we think it's probably going to be like World's Finest. That kind of thing.
And maybe another version of Batman, but just within his DC universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've heard rumors of that, too. So there's a lot of excitement coming up in DC.
And a proper Justice League movie down the road.
Oh, man. We'll see.
Because none of this works. There's going to be more Batman.
I don't think we need a Justice League. I think we need a Justice League International.
Or Justice Society.
Yeah. Yeah, Justice Society would be cool, too.
But the one thing, I would really love, and I know you would, too, Rebels.
Oh, God, yeah. Jesus, Tony Bedard wrote the shit out of that. It was so good.
So much fun. So much fun. If they did a Rebels TV show or Rebels movie, oh, my God, I'd be the first one there.
I think the original, Tom Pierre, was the original writer of that 90s one. where they broke off from Legion.
From Legion, right.
And that was a great series, too. Both of them, the 90s Legion and Rebels. But when Tony Bedard took it over, he really wrote the shit out of it.
So much fun.
Yeah. I don't know if he's done much writing lately. I haven't heard anything about him.
Gotta look it up. He was nice. When we met him years ago, he was a nice man.
Very nice dude. Very nice dude. But I think that's going to do it, guys. Just a quick in and out.
Go watch Superman on July 11th or afterwards.
Yeah. Go watch Superman. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you
at a hopeful, optimistic, but always super comic book shop.
This has been The Real Short Box. We'll see you at the comic shop. Thanks for listening.
Free audio post-production by Alphonic.com.